Hey you, in today's video, I want to talk about lies. First off, what is it that we like to ask for in all types of relationships, not just, and even in personal relationships. We have this idea of honesty, of finding the truth, of representing the truth, of being the truth. And that is a lie. It's a lie. Do you really care about the truth? Do you really care about knowing you're noble? You don't lie. You're someone whose word is worth something. We ask for it. We ask for people to be honest with us, but are we honest with other people? Are we honest with ourselves? In this video, we're going to cover the ego, the self-agenda, self-lies. We're going to be covering how is it that you have your own self-agenda, I have my own self-agenda. Every single person you interact with has their own agenda. And this is something, whether you know it or not, you do. And if you say you do not have your own agenda, it is a lie. It is false. Excuse me. Because as much as you want to say everything you do it to fulfill one person. That's yourself. That's to make you feel better. That's to make you feel like you're doing something right. To make you feel like you're moving in the right direction. To make you feel accomplished. To make you feel like you're worthy of what you have. And you deserve what you have. But it's all your own self-agenda. Because as much as you want to say, I do this for other people, or I do this to help, or whatever reason it may be, if you're really honest with yourself, if you really look within, you don't even have to look within. You just need to be honest with yourself, to see that you don't care about other people. In reality, yeah, it might make you feel happy to see other people happy. It might make Oprah feel happy to give cards to people on her show, or to had given, I don't know. I've never really watched her. But is it because you care about other people? Is it, when we watch news, is it because they care about sharing the information with you? No, it's not. Because at the end, the only person you do it for is for yourself. It's to make you feel some type of way. It's to give you that happy pill effect. It's to give you that dopamine effect. It's to give you that happiness. When you say someone could trust you. When you say this person could trust me, I am so kind, I am so nice. Is it? And are you nice? Are you kind because you truly want to see them happy? Or is it because it makes you feel happy? Is it because it makes you feel like you did something for people? That's really what it is. It's all about you. It's all about you. Because all you care about is your self-image. It's your self-image. It's the perception you've created, of yourself that now other people have of you. So now you have this mask that you're having to wear, that you feel the need to wear. And it's a mask that you created. It's all you. And you realizing it takes a lot for you to realize that you're a liar. It takes courage, but more than anything, it takes going within to realize and admit to yourself that, yeah, everything you do is for your own self-agenda, for your own ego, to keep feeding it. And how do you know? How do you know what you're doing, what you've done is for other people and not for yourself? How do you know this? Well, you know this because the moment that it's threatened, that your self-image is threatened, you instantly have this need to protect it. You instantly change your mind of how you feel about something, and it's because it's being threatened. If you have this self-image, this perspective that you're a very hard worker, you put work over everything, you want to be successful, you want to be successful more than anything else, and that's all you see, the moment that is threatened, and it doesn't even have to be by anybody else, it could just be threatened by your own actions, by you following your own self-compass and realizing, or your inner you wanting to do something else, wanting something more. And you realize it. Whoa, hold on. Why is it that I'm caring about this people? Why am I caring about this person or about these things? All of a sudden, I'm prioritizing this other stuff over prioritizing me wanting to be successful. You know what bothers you? You know why you feel the need to make a change? Why you feel the need to suddenly stop what you're doing, stop what you're feeling, stop those emotions? Because suddenly you realize for yourself that, whoa, why am I not trying to be successful over everything else? Why am I not trying to achieve this status over anything else? Why am I not the hardest worker anymore? Because now I don't care to pick up overtime. I don't care to go into work. Instead, I want to go do this other stuff with other people. That is your self-agenda being threatened. That is your self-agenda that tells you you're a hard worker. You put work over everything and anything and anyone first. And now that's threatened. It's threatened because of other emotions, other likes, other interests, other people that you're prioritizing now. And as soon as you realize that, it throws you off. You have this need. All of a sudden you have this need. This, I need to survive. This survival of the fittest attitude that, no, I don't want that. I don't want those things. I don't want those relationships, those activities, those adventures, those new projects. I don't want those. Because now they're threatening the fact that I am a hard worker. I want to be successful, and I put that over anything else. Your self-agenda feels threatened. You feel your ego, and your ego, because that's what the self-agenda is, it is your ego, is now telling you that's not who you are. That person, they're just taking your time. And it's because, again, you have this self-image, this agenda that now you have to live up to. And in your mind's going to point at everything and everyone, at your pet, at your kids, at your parents, and it's going to tell you, no, you're not a liar. That's the person you are. You didn't lie about wanting to be successful. No, I'm using successful as an example. You didn't want to be successful. You want to be successful over everything else. You don't want that family. You don't want that car. You don't want to go jump off an airplane because it's going to make you call off and request a day off. No, you're a hard worker. You want to be successful over anything. So now it's telling you all these things that's wrong with everything else that you're wanting. And it's because your self-agenda, your ego feels threatened. It feels threatened. And you don't even know. Especially when you're not conscious, when you're not woke, when you're not realizing it, you don't even know that it's your agenda, your self-agenda, your ego, your self-deception of yourself that's being threatened. That's what's making you feel that way. And that's because you don't even know you've been lying to yourself all this time. Because your soul and your person, as you don't want just that. You don't just want to be successful. You know deep down that is not your ultimate goal. But because you've created this image, you've told yourself this story so many times that you now believe it. You've told yourself that this is all you could do and you have to do this to achieve anything else to be able to enjoy all this later on. That's a limiting belief. You told yourself a limiting belief. And you believe it. You believe it because you don't know it was always a lie. What's the best way? What's the best liar? What's the best type of lie? What's the best type of liar? It's one that doesn't know he's lying. It's one that is not aware that he is part of a lie. Now, lie in this example is what Miguel Ruiz from the Fourth Agreements, the book I talked about a few videos ago, is what he called the dream. The society dream. That is what this self-agenda, what this lie is. The agenda is your ego. It's your self, your self-deception, your self-ego, your ego, your self-agenda. It's nothing more than, in reality, your ego. And to hold a belief and not recognize it, to hold the belief that this is what you need to do or this is who you are, and not recognize that it's just a belief, that it might not really resonate with who you are now, it takes low consciousness. It takes very low consciousness. Especially if you know around you, you have all this information, you have all this access to information to show you the truth, to let you see the truth, and instead you're very happy in your little low conscious bubble because it's like a code of warm, comforting lies that you're okay with. I actually was just talking to one of my coworkers a few days ago. Well, they were conversating, my coworkers, about Nipsey Hussle, the rapper that just got shot and died. They were talking about him. So I have this coworker, and again, I believe it's his ego is telling him how woke he is and how it's the Illuminati and how it's this, and he's in this victim but warrior type mentality, which again I also believe creates some sort of limiting beliefs. But I was just listening. My other coworker, she has no idea what he's talking about, and he's telling her, oh, you need to wake up, you need to be conscious, you need to start finding out all this stuff and being aware and get ready because it's gonna go down, and all these holistic doctors are being killed and because they're putting information out there. But if you wake up, if you as your own person, if you're able to pick up a book, read it, expand your consciousness, do something for yourself, your inner work, and expand your own consciousness, imagine how much greater that would be if every single person that you interact with was on a mission to discovering their own truth and was okay with being their original, their truest self. What type of world would we have? If we really could say that everything we do is for somebody else, and because we honestly feel happy for them, or like we're helping them and it's for them and not for us. But it's not. Because we have this ego and it requires a very low conscious level. A low conscious level that a lot of people are waking up from. A lot of people are doing their research, are finding their own truth, are asking questions and finding their answers, instead of just going with the answer that they read in a textbook when they were in 4th grade. Instead of just going with the truth that their parents told them. Instead of just going with the truth that their church told them, that their group of friends, that their society, that their older brother or sister or uncle or nephew told them. If you go out there and find your own answers and start waking up, you will realize that you were at a lower conscious level. So you didn't even realize you were living this lie of who you are, of what people are, of what society is. Your perspective is the same as the perspective of other people who have your same level of consciousness or lower. They feel like what would happen? What would happen without the self agenda? Without the ego? Would we have created all this worse? Would we have created religion? Would we have created this separation between religion and between... We don't only do it between religion. We don't only do it between countries. We do it between societies, with societies. We do it with our language. We want to be different. We do it with our culture. In our own town, we do it from one high school to the other, this elementary school versus this one. We're always trying to separate ourselves to find our own individual self instead of just embracing that we're all the same and we're all one, and one is all of us. You're in everyone and everyone is in you. But for that, you need to let your ego die. You need to understand what the self-agenda is and be okay with letting it go, taking that mask off. Now, how hard is it to let go of this agenda, to let go of this ego, when so many people commit suicide and kill themselves because they can't be true to themselves? Because it's better to live this agenda, to have this belief that this person was very happy, instead of facing the truth, instead of saying, you know what, I did all this, but it never made me happy. It was not me. And it's so hard to just be able to be open and say that a lot of people rather continue that ego instead of facing it, that self-agenda instead of facing it, because once they give up their body, that agenda, that mask never actually had to come off. And it's a lot less scarier to a lot of people than just expanding your conscious and understanding and putting your stuff out there and just being true to yourself. Because high awareness means high responsibility. Means taking responsibility for your actions. When you're aware that a reaction of someone else might not really be a reaction of them, but a reaction of the way you're reacting because of what you were putting out there, that takes responsibility. And not a lot of us are able to take responsibility. It's about when you face your shadows, your lies, the story you've told yourself, and you truly, truly care, you realize that your world, your perspective of it was nothing more than what you made of it. And you realize that at any given moment, you could change that. At any given moment. And it all starts with this lie. And it's not a lie that it's a lie that we learned. It's a lie that was told to us. It's a lie that our parents told us. It's a lie that everybody around us growing up, and even now around us, keeps telling us. But when you start becoming more conscious and expanding your awareness, you start to recognize it. You start to see what resonates, what doesn't. And you're able to go, it's like going into a market and picking what you want. Picking what works for you. Now, if they send you to a store and it has all the raw and organic stuff you could eat and a bunch of crap, and you know you're going to live forever, are you going to take care of yourself? Are you not? Some people will say they will absolutely go AWOL and eat all kinds of crap because they know they're going to live forever. And some people will decide to shop the whole foods, to shop the healthier foods, because they want to live forever in a healthy manner. It's the same thing. It's the same idea. And the lies that we tell ourselves, how great of liars we are. We're so good. We're so good at lying to ourselves that we tell ourselves we're not lying. We don't even know we're lying. That's the best way. That's the best type of lie. If I want to become the best liar, I have to start by believing that I am not a liar, that I'm honest, that I'm true, that I follow my heart, and that's a lie. And it's something that I myself am working on. I'll give you a quick example. Something kept telling me I had to be done with two things that weren't resonating with me anymore. One was a person that I started talking to. And he's a sweetheart. He's nice, he's kind, he has everything going for himself, and anyone would be very lucky to have him. And another one was a job that I'm in. And everything kept telling me that I needed to let go of those two things. I needed to let go of those two things. Because if I'm honest with myself, with the boy as sweet as he is, I'm not there. And I'm just lying to myself by hanging out with him, by giving him hope. And I needed to be honest. I needed to break that. I needed to be able to feel like I could breathe again. And it was so scary. It was so scary because my mind is telling me that it makes sense. That he makes sense for me. But here, and this is what I align with my being, was telling me that it wasn't. That it was just going to turn into a situation that later on I would just feel like I settled. And I don't want that. And it was very scary and it was very hard. And especially hard when you have to be honest with someone. It's a lot easier to say you do a lot of stuff I don't like and you're this, you're that. I'm what can I say? I'm kind of perfect, No. If I'm really honest with myself, I know I'm not there. And all I had left to do was be honest with him, and it was like being able to breathe. It was being able to be honest with this person And for them to know that I will be honest. With work, it was another thing. It's so scary. It's so scary because it's the closest to my house. Everything here, everything makes sense for me to stay there. It's kind of idiotic for me to even leave. But it wasn't resonating with me anymore. And I needed to let it go. Not because of any real reason except for it wasn't resonating with me. And I don't want to lie to myself. I don't want to make myself believe that I'm okay in a place where I'm not. And there's been a lot of other times when something tells me to go a different route. But because there's self-will, because I have my own ego that I'm still working on recognizing and learning to use it as a tool instead of letting it define me. Instead of feeling threatened when I'm called out on something that I'm not being, because I've created this self-image that is what I am. It's very scary.